For years, Melody Shari carried herself with a strength and composure that few could match. She walked through the storms of life without letting the rain touch her spirit. She appeared unshaken, poised and polished, even when her personal life became public entertainment. Her every move, every expression, every choice was observed and dissected by fans and critics alike. Yet, behind that composed exterior, there were layers of emotion, struggle, and resilience that the world could never fully understand. Melody was seen as unbreakable, a woman who could navigate heartbreak, public scrutiny, and family challenges, all while maintaining her dignity and self-respect. But recently, the energy surrounding her has shifted. Supporters have noticed subtle changes in her expressions, in her tone during interviews, and even in the way she communicates on social media. These small changes have grown into something much larger, something heavier and more emotionally charged than anything she has faced before. Unlike before, when the public only witnessed her navigating a single challenge at a time, the pressures she faces now come from multiple angles. There are debates on social media, old wounds resurfacing, and new tensions emerging simultaneously. Every move she makes is analyzed, every decision scrutinized, and every emotional response becomes the topic of discussion. The intensity of this scrutiny has created a situation where even someone as strong as Melody feels the weight of expectation pressing down from all sides. To truly understand why this moment feels so heavy, it is important to look back at the version of Melody the world first met on reality television. When she appeared on Love and Marriage Huntsville, she did not step into the spotlight seeking drama or attention. She stepped into it as a wife, a mother, and a businesswoman, attempting to balance family life, personal growth, and professional ambition. The cameras captured her navigating real-life heartbreak and challenges in real time, allowing viewers to witness not just a glamorous reality star, but a woman dealing with real emotions and difficult circumstances. Her marriage struggles, particularly those with Martell Holt, became one of the most talked-about storylines, drawing millions of eyes and creating a level of public exposure that can profoundly affect a person's emotional state. The breakup and its aftermath were far from private. Rumors, accusations, and painful truths emerged publicly, leaving little room for personal space. Every disagreement was magnified, every emotional moment analyzed, and every attempt to stay strong tested by public scrutiny. At first, many viewers sympathized with Melody. They saw a woman striving to hold her family together while navigating betrayal and heartbreak that cut far deeper than the public could ever imagine. She pursued counseling, worked on rebuilding herself, and maintained dignity even in the face of immense pressure. Yet, despite her efforts, the challenges persisted. Eventually, Melody made the difficult decision to leave a marriage that had become emotionally draining. Walking away did not erase the pain. In fact, it opened a new chapter filled with legal complications, co-parenting responsibilities, and the ongoing task of protecting her children while remaining in the public eye. The burden was not just emotional, it was constant. She had to navigate a complex web of expectations, responsibilities, and public attention, all while trying to process her own healing privately. Even as Melody rebuilt her brand, her businesses, and her personal confidence, the emotional scars remained. She became a symbol of resilience from many fans, a woman who survived heartbreak and still stood tall. Her entrepreneurial ventures, speaking engagements, and growing public influence signaled a powerful new chapter. Supporters admired her ability to turn pain into purpose, to prioritize her children, her career, and her self-worth above everything else. From the outside, it appeared she had conquered the most challenging chapters of her life. Yet life rarely allows for simple resolution. Sometimes survival mode pushes someone forward so quickly that there is no time to fully process the events they have endured. Over time, buried emotions resurface, especially when life slows down and moments of reflection arise. For Melody, this resurfacing has become noticeable. Fans and observers have begun to see subtle shifts in her smile, in her live sessions, in the way she interacts online. These are not dramatic or obvious changes, but they carry emotional weight that speaks to fatigue, reflection, and the lingering impact of years of constant pressure. She does not appear broken nor defeated. Instead, she seems quietly exhausted, carrying emotional burdens that are heavier than most people can comprehend. The online community quickly took notice. Social media buzzed with opinions, theories, and heated debates. Some viewers expressed concern, sympathizing with the weight she bears. Others criticized, suggesting that past conflicts and unresolved issues were finally catching up to her. Discussions about karma, personal accountability, and emotional consequence spread rapidly across platforms. In the middle of this, Melody continued her daily responsibilities, balancing motherhood, business obligations, and public expectations. The emotional juggling required in her life is immense. Every decision impacts not only her own well-being, but the environment in which her children grow up. Career responsibilities add another layer of pressure. Maintaining a public image while navigating personal struggles demands composure and discipline. Melody's brand represents strength, growth, and independence, but living up to that image day after day can be emotionally exhausting. Critics often forget the invisible burden carried by those who are expected to remain unshaken in the public eye. Strength is not the absence of pain. True strength is carrying that pain while continuing to move forward, to protect others, and to pursue one's goals. Perhaps the most challenging aspect of Melody's current situation is the invisible weight of expectation. She is constantly labeled the strong one, the unbreakable woman. The world does not allow her moments of vulnerability. Fans and critics alike expect her to remain composed, to continue moving forward, and to demonstrate resilience even when her own heart demands rest. This expectation is exhausting and often overlooked. It adds a layer of emotional intensity to every decision, every public appearance, and every private moment of reflection. What makes this chapter particularly complex is that the pressures are internal as well as external. Melody has spent years being in survival mode, responding to challenges immediately, prioritizing others' needs, and protecting her family above all else. Now, with life slowing down in certain areas, emotions she had no time to process are resurfacing. These emotions are not always dramatic or visible. They manifest in subtle ways: a reflective tone during live sessions, measured responses to public inquiries, and expressions that hint at fatigue beneath the polished exterior. The world often misses these quiet indicators, focusing instead on speculation and gossip. Despite the intensity of public scrutiny, Melody continues to prioritize her children and her career. She manages her brand, fulfills professional responsibilities, and protects her family from unnecessary drama. This level of balance is challenging even for someone with extensive support, yet she navigates it with quiet determination. Fans recognize this as resilience, but resilience does not make the emotional exhaustion vanish. It simply allows a person to continue functioning while processing complex internal struggles. This chapter in Melody's life demonstrates the difference between surviving and truly healing. She has survived years of heartbreak, public scrutiny, and emotional challenges, but surviving does not equate to healing. The emotional impact of unresolved pain can linger, quietly influencing decisions, interactions, and personal well-being. The visible signs of her fatigue, while subtle, reveal a human being who has given so much of herself to others that her own emotional needs demand attention. Her strength, though remarkable, carries a weight that is rarely acknowledged publicly. The pressure of motherhood, career, and public attention is compounded by personal responsibility. Every parenting decision is scrutinized, every career choice is analyzed, every expression is interpreted. Despite this, Melody maintains focus on what truly matters: her children, her personal growth, and her long-term well-being. The public may see only fragments, but behind the scenes, she carefully manages a complex emotional landscape while maintaining her composure. The current chapter of her life is not about dramatic public confrontations. It is quieter, subtler, and yet more emotionally intense. It is about facing the consequences of years spent under pressure and finally acknowledging the emotional weight she has carried. This moment is not karma meant to punish her, but a natural reflection of years of perseverance and responsibility. Life forces her to confront emotions that were postponed or ignored in the past. Through all of this, Melody continues to evolve. She reflects, rebuilds, and grows. She does not collapse under pressure. She processes her emotions authentically, even if quietly. Her journey is a testament to resilience, emotional honesty, and the power of introspection. The strength she demonstrates is not loud or performative. It is internal, steady, and transformative. Fans watching this chapter are witnessing a woman in transition. They are seeing subtle but profound changes as she navigates a heavier, more emotionally charged moment in her life. The evolution is quiet but powerful, highlighting the difference between reacting to the world and reflecting on one's inner life. The process of emotional growth is slow and often invisible, but it is critical for long-term healing and empowerment. Ultimately, Melody's story is not defined by public opinion, gossip, or external judgment. It is defined by her ability to navigate complex emotional challenges while remaining committed to her values, her family, and herself. Every chapter of her life, from heartbreak to growth to quiet reflection, has contributed to her current evolution. This evolution is powerful, subtle, and deeply human. Even now, as she faces new challenges and the lingering effects of past experiences, she continues to demonstrate resilience. Her response to pressure, her quiet strength, and her commitment to her personal growth serve as a model for anyone navigating emotional complexity. This moment is not the end of her story. It is a continuation of her evolution, a chapter that highlights reflection, healing, and the ongoing journey toward balance and peace. Melody Cherise's journey demonstrates that true strength is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to carry it gracefully while continuing to move forward. Her story teaches that even in moments that feel heavy, emotionally charged, or overwhelming, there is room for reflection, growth, and transformation. It is a reminder that strength is not always loud and visible, but often quiet, steady, and deeply profound. As this chapter unfolds, it becomes clear that Melody is not being crushed by life or karma. Instead, she is confronting years of emotional weight, processing them in her own time, and emerging stronger and wiser. Her evolution is ongoing, her reflection is honest, and her strength continues to inspire those who watch closely. Even when the world expects perfection, she demonstrates that authentic growth comes from reflection, persistence, and the courage to face one's emotions without fear. Her story continues to unfold, and while public discussion will persist, the true narrative lies in her personal journey, a journey of resilience, reflection, and authentic transformation. This is a woman who has faced immense pressure, both publicly and privately, and continues to rise, showing that true strength is measured not by how loudly it is displayed, but how quietly it perseveres through life's heaviest challenges.